Here, good people. Big Mo the Crypto Lion here. I want to give you an update on the ICO we've been following for a while called Arbitraging. Their token sale ends in 1 day, 19 hours, 46 minutes, and 26 seconds, 24, 23. Well, you get the idea. Their token sale ends soon. So they've been in ICO for a couple of months now, I guess, but they're in round 5 and they are closing it out. This is the real deal, and I just wanted to remind you, in case you hadn't got some tokens or you want to pick up some more, what is the price? I'll come back to the price in a minute, but just to remind you a little bit about what they do. They provide a profit by using their 2 proprietary, did I say it right? Proprietary softwares where they use they do arbitrage. So they're the A bot and the M bot. That's the automatic trading bot, and M bot, which is the manual trading bot, and they generate crypto profits, arbitrage profit. So arbitrage trading is buying a coin in one exchange at a low price and instantly selling it in another exchange for a higher price to immediately lock in a profit. Alright, and they've got all kinds of stuff going on. They've got the A bot, the M bot, holding ARBs. You can stake it and you can make money that way if you hodl it. So they have a lot going on. They even have, let me see if I have the link up here. Yeah, so they even showed the last 5 A bot trades. So trade 1 was a little under 1%, 1.27% was the second one, 0.72 was the third, 1.35, 0.56. Now remember, this is not a daily profit, this is a per trade profit. Okay, so this is what it makes per trade. So these could have happened all in the same day. Could have happened all in 1 hour. It's hard to say. Okay. So they go into detail. They tell you how it works. The minimum A-bot investment is $250, and I don't think there's a limit to the amount of days, but you just pay. They let you know you pay a 3% fee and so forth. But I'm not going to belabor it. I'm going to share with you the latest interview with the CEO, David Peterson, and PJ3, YouTuber PJ3. And David Peterson, he knows his product. Okay, he knows what's going on, and he does an excellent job of explaining it and answering a lot of your basic questions. The website is very detailed. They've got all kinds of information here, and just a note about the roadmap. This is going to be a busy month for them. Token sales about to be done. Then they start the training. They're going to be releasing videos on how to use the A-bot. Then they're going to launch the A-bot for everybody's use. The internal exchange opens the end of this month. So they've got a lot going on. And again, let me let this interview go ahead so you can share this with you, because they just released this the other day, and then we'll talk about where you can buy it and so forth. Alright, so here's David Peterson and PJ3.
So okay, everybody, PJ3 back here with a exclusive interview with the CEO of Arbitraging.co, Arbitraging Coin. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Hey, how's it going? David here. You guys are probably familiar with me by now, hopefully.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I've been telling everybody that I've got an interview coming, and I didn't spill the beans too much, but here it is, and we'll get it out to them. And I guess my first question is, well, where are we at with the company and versus an ICO stage? What are we doing with a soft cap and a hard cap?
All right, so where we're at with the company, we're still in ICO, but we're towards the end of it. Now, as far as soft cap goes, we did reach our soft cap, and we're just, scraping over that barrel right now. Hard cap is going to be, pretty out there. It's going to be hard to hit the hard cap, but we are soft cap, so that's, a good thing. That's what we needed to do to officially get everything done, as game plan. So we did that. So that's amazing.
Yeah. There's some companies out there I've been keeping an eye on that aren't reaching a soft cap, and I know I just posted my giveaway, and one of my subscribers had just commented just right before we got on this call that he just bought 4,000 more ARB coins.
Okay.
Excited about the platform and ready to go. So good for him. Congratulations. And that's kind of what the company needs. Just pound it out, one ARB coin at a time.
Yeah, it's definitely been pounding it out the last couple weeks. Even in this hard market, it's a really bearish market and everything's just in the red, but we've still been keeping momentum, and that's actually a beautiful thing. It means that a lot of people are supportive of us, and we appreciate that a lot. We can't say thank you enough.
Yeah, exactly. And especially with you mentioned the bearish market. Yesterday, I'm sure a lot of people woke up, looked at the coin market cap and said, screw it, I'm going back to bed.
I honestly did. I woke up, I looked at it, and I was like, I'm not looking at it again for about 12 hours.
Yeah. At least find a color in between red and green, right? One of the two.
Yeah, I just focused at looking at the bot interface and seeing greens. So I'm like, hey, at least I see some greens.
Yeah, exactly. I did the same thing. I logged into VBot and I was like, okay, well, you can still make at least, even when it's going down, it was like 2.1%, 2%, something like that. So, good to know. Question for you: How do you think the beta testings go? I'm sure you see all the details and all the results.
Beta testing's actually done pretty good. There's been a couple bugs that we found along the way, but they were all minor. So we were able to get all those fixed, pretty much immediately after we seen them. But other than that, stress testing is going awesome. It's even gone a little better than I thought it would go. When you're first beta testing your bot and your interface, you're like, just crossing fingers and saying, hopefully, it runs as good as you think it will. It actually did. So, it was pretty impressive on that. It's been going great, and we keep adding people to it now. I think we're up to like 140 people in our beta test right now, so that's awesome.
Yeah, nice. I know my brother-in-law just bought some last night, and he's doing the beta testing now, so this will be his first day. And then I'm in the beta testing, of course, as all my subscribers know. And just so you guys know, I haven't had any problems whatsoever. If I did have like a little tiny problem for about 3 seconds. They fixed it. And I'm able to withdraw my coins that I earn per day into my wallet almost instantly. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, and through the beta test, we tried like 6 different things, trying things different ways just to check out the data. Because realistically, when it comes down to it, it's all data. So, we've been trying different stages, different methods, and we're even going to switch to a new one here with all you guys, all the beta testers in a day or two. So you guys will, see those changes as well.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. So with the testing, you've got the M-Bot, which is super exciting. Every time I go anywhere into any chat room, they're talking about the M-Bot. So could you explain a little bit to not only the M-Bot, but I want people to understand that there's transaction fees that occur when you're doing arbitrage. Could you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, I'd love to. So M-Bot's really exciting, and that's kind of like our focal point in the roadmap down the line. And when it comes to arbitrage, if you guys go on VBot right now, you're gonna see all the greens and reds on the screen, and when you get a percentage on the screen, like let's say for example 3%, that's just the overall percentage of the trade. Now there is fees that are involved in that. And when we actually go for a full launch of M-Bot, we're going to, do a good job at programming in those fees, so they're actually going to be displayed there. So you'll see like an overall percentage and then an expected amount. So it'll deduct those fees, and then you'll see like what you could end up with overall. So and the fees are different between each exchange. So if you go over to, let's say, for example, Hit BTC, they charge you to deposit and withdrawal. And if you go over to BitThumb, they charge you to withdrawal. And it's different between each, coin or token that you're doing. So it's basically just programming the bot to know what the fees are. And, the fees are, that's how they make their money. So,
Yeah, so I would pretty much equate that to probably like maybe a gross versus net scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
So you might see 3% on the VBot. That's going to be gross. Your net, it will eventually, when you guys launch it, will let you know what the net's going to be. So
and the net will also change with the amount that you're actually arbitraging. So the more that you arbitrage, the less you'll notice the fees, because on exchanges, fees are flat fees. They don't actually charge a percentage of your withdrawal. It's just a flat fee for withdrawal. So when you arbitrage with more, you'll end up noticing less fees. Now, when you're going with less, you'll notice the fees more. And that's one of the reasons why we have a $500 minimum in the MBOT, is just so you don't get killed with fees. Because anything less than that, it's almost pointless, because you're going to end up with almost nothing just because of fees.
Yeah, best you can do is break even.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful part with ABOT. We can, do a less amount on that because we're running more as a pool. So, you're using power to, do the trades like that.
Yeah, larger amounts of money. So you may or may not have seen my review of arbitraging versus Dropple, and I discussed the difference in the websites. So could you explain to everybody? I understand that the WordPress is really good for the front, but I know you guys have a lot of stuff going on in the back. Could you maybe help people out? Because I get a lot of questions about why did they look so basic? What are we going to do? Is there going to be any upgrades?
Yeah, actually we are planning an upgrade to the user interface, and that's the back end. So when you actually go to our site, that's the same thing like Dropple has, a WordPress entry site or landing page. Ours is not WordPress, it's, PHP, so it's actually HTML based, it's programmed in codes. It's not just, hey, drop and fill in whatever, but we actually are going to be upgrading our user interface. Now, you guys seen us change our website, about a month ago, and that was like an overdue process. We needed that, so we upgraded that for you guys. And it's always been planned to upgrade our user interface. It's just we went for the basic one at the start of the ICO, just because realistically it wasn't going to be fully used at that point. It was just to kind of give, a basis. So now we're going to build from that and, try to give something that's more, new age and simple to use as well. So that's one thing we're really trying to aim on for, is simplicity, but still be, something that's kind of more modern.
Gotcha. All right. Makes sense. And why don't we jump right into API keys? So as a lot of people know, in order to do arbitrage or trading, you need API keys. Will we be using our own API keys, or will arbitraging.co have their own API keys that we use on behalf of them, or would it be both?
Technically, we want to offer both, because a lot of people will want to use their own APIs, and those are certain kind of people, but they are out there. We get a lot of questions on people saying, hey, I don't want to use your APIs, and then you get some saying I do want to use them. So what we're going to end up doing is going for both. So that way, you'll have MBOT, which is fully manual. You use all your own exchanges, your own APIs, and we'll have a tutorial that helps people program that. And then we're going to try to go for that second way, where it's kind of an automatic manual bot. So it brings ABOT and MBOT together kind of in one. You'll use our APIs, for the most part, and then we'll just figure out like a different fee percentage for that, and it'll still be relatively good. Yeah. Because what we're trying to do is build a bigger used platform with lower fees, and in the end, you end up growing faster, having more users, and your lower fees end up actually making more in the long run. So that's kind of the goal behind that for us.
Yeah, and I understand you completely. One of my biggest things I talk about on my channel is companies have to make money in order to continue. There has to be a profit margin. And so if people are going to use your API keys, there's going to be a fee for that. They shouldn't be complaining about it. They should be actually thanking, because they don't have to go through all the trouble. Like you said, it's certain people who want to use their own API, and to each his own.
We're planning on having MBOT being a downloadable software here, later in the year. And with that one, that's going to be like a fully manual where, you download it to your computer and you can use it. And you'll actually be able to, run your own ETH and stuff through that, is what our goal is. So on that one, you'll be able to actually, use our bot just to, perform trades on your own with your own money. But you'll still have to, load some ARB into it as gas. So, that'll be the beautiful part about that. You'll be able to have full range with it, but at the same time, you'll have to load like a certain amount of ARB into it just to get it to, open up for you.
Yeah. Gotcha. And you mentioned ARB, so ARB. Could you explain the utility of the token and why you guys aren't dealing in BTC or ETH or whatever, and why there's a utility of the token?
Yeah. In the end, the way that you build ARB tokens value is to give it a utility purpose. Now it's kind of similar if you're thinking about like Neo has its own gas, or when you're sending Ether or something, or an ERC20, you have to use a gas. That's kind of the basis behind it. Give it a utility use, and then it'll actually have more value. So if it didn't have a utility use, it would basically just be like air. It would have no use. So in the end, that would hurt the value. So when you actually program something to use that as a gas, it's going to provide more value in the end, and that's kind of what we're looking for, is provide a valuable coin or a valuable token. We could have built these bots where you just ran with your own BTC and your own ETH, but in the end, that wouldn't make us different than anything else. So in the end, we're trying to do it to be unique and build a utility feature that actually provides value.
Gotcha. Okay. And speaking of the value, a lot of people I've noticed will like to auto reinvest. Will there be a feature on that for the A-bot?
We are working on that feature for the future after the full launch. But the one thing that I do want to let people know is they will have to meet that minimum investment again to reinvest. So, for example, right now it's a $250 minimum to start it. You'll have to have a $250 minimum to reinvest as well. And, realistically, that's going to actually help the sustainability of the platform. Because in the end, you really, as any platform, you want to be able to, have people reinvest their money, but you don't want it to hurt the system. Yeah. So in the end, if we work together and we find a happy spot that works for the user and for the platform, it's going to be best just for the future sustainability of the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I like that aspect of it, and I actually like the minimum. So if you make $20 the first day, you can't reinvest it. You got to make sure you build back up to the minimum. Otherwise, what's your $20? You're gonna lose it in fees. So I like that.
Yeah.
Plan. And then token supply, if we want to talk about token supply, you guys are going to have 9.7 million roughly. Now you're talking about we probably won't hit the hard cap. You're going to hit the soft cap. What is going to happen with all those coins in between?
All right. So, what we're planning on doing is burning, a decent amount of them. And we want to reach out to our community. We're going to have like I'd say open discussion with our community to see what they think that we should do. Since we hit soft cap, we know that we're going to be able to, number one, deliver the products that we're saying. Now, when it comes down to number two, the only reason that the difference between soft cap and hard cap is basically like a marketing push, your marketing budget. So, that's like the one thing that's going to be the lower side of that. So we're going to open a discussion to our community and, ask them, what do they think we should do? We know that we're going to end up burning some tokens if we don't, do that hard cap, but we still got some time left. So it could happen. But, realistically, we want to have community involvement with our future planning, because in the end, we can only do so much. We need you guys, and we need the community, and we want you guys to be happy, number one. And number two, we want your support. So if we, happen to talk to you guys and say, hey, do you mind if we hold some tokens and then use those later to provide marketing support, something like that. But as it sits right now, we do plan on burning a lot of them if there's any left over.
Gotcha. And I understand completely, and I will respond for myself that I'm completely fine with you guys keeping a little bit, because as this grows, you're gonna have to do some advertising like big time to get it coming in, and people sometimes don't understand that takes a lot of money. A lot of people don't understand that just to get listed on an external exchange, it costs anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 depending on what exchange you're trying to get on.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's always better to have some and not need it than need some and not have it.
Yeah. So that's a discussion that we're going to be open to having. So if you guys are watching this, feel free to stop by our Telegram and give us your opinion on that. Like I said from day one, the reason why we wanted to distribute most of our tokens is so we're not sitting on a whole bunch, so we can later influx the supply and create inflation. That's our total goal behind not holding that much. So we don't want to do that, but we do want to be able to provide you guys the best marketing in the future at the same time. So we want to try to find the happy medium. So, that's the goal. We just want to make you happy, make us happy, make the future happy.
Make everybody money.
Yeah. Because we already know with reaching the soft cap, we are going to be able to deliver the products that we said. So, beyond that, we know just doing that and, officially launching MBOT later on is going to be massive steps. And, that word is going to spread like wildfire. And, we do charge, you guys 3% on profits you make with our bots, which is going to help pay for marketing. So it's not like I'm saying, hey, we have to do this in order to market. It's just we want to provide, better marketing and bigger marketing just to make sure that we can, do that third, fourth, fifth step of, movement. So
yeah. No, I understand completely. So, and everybody, the links for the Telegram groups will be down in the description below. So if you guys aren't part of the Telegram group, now's a good time to jump in there. So just a FYI while we're doing the interview. Just kind of spin that in there. But so it's 18 decimals. So technically we can break the coin down. It doesn't have to be one coin. It can be fractions of a coin, correct? Yeah,
you're correct. When you look at it, there is only 10 million coins, but each coin I think splits down a billion ways. But it's not like you're gonna have to go to that. Where you're talking about 0.0000 10 times and then 1. I mean, you could, eventually. So if later on, let's say the token ends up worth a lot, then yeah, you could split a token down 1,000 ways just to make it $1.
Yeah, you sustainable.
Yeah,
gotcha. So I've mentioned this to other people. I'll bring it up to you. But communication, a lot of the ICOs that everybody who watches this video right now is going to say, oh my God, communication is ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's around during the ICO and before the launch, but once it launches, it's like crickets. Everybody hears crickets. How do you feel about that?
I honestly feel that, we're different. And you've probably heard that before. We're different. But realistically, we actually have people that it's their job to communicate. And it's not like we're going to be laying those people off, They're part of the team, and it's what they do. You'll probably notice, if you look at other ICOs and teams and then look at ours, you've probably noticed that we have more of a presence in the support industry, or the support of our community. So realistically, that's not going to go anywhere. And when you go into our Telegram, all the admins that you see, they love our product. And a lot of them are investors just like you, or like anyone else. Now, they don't plan on going anywhere either. And, we treat them good. They love what they do. They love helping people. And, you'll see some come and go because, of course, life can get busy. But in the end, we don't plan on providing less support after the ICO than before. When we built our support team, we knew that our support team was going to, start and then be what it was and build from there. So it sucks, that a lot of the times these other people have, had great support and then stopped. I wish it wasn't like that, but in the end, they probably only had 1 or 2 people doing their whole support. So
yeah, true. I'm thinking of a couple right now. So before my mind wanders, I better go to the next question.
Yeah.
So we've got the A bot, the M bot, and can you explain to everybody? So what we're looking for schedule for the A bot, the M bot, and then how we doing on exchanges.
All right, so I'll kind of give you guys a breakdown of the roadmap. Now you can see it on the website. A-bot is set to launch by the 15th of April, and we're still on track for that. So that's the main thing that we want to let people know is like our main focus point right now is keeping the roadmap, on time. And from day one of the ICO, we've kept on time, with a lot of steps that we set. So, that's our main thing because we want to deliver because we know that, hey, you can talk a big game, but unless you deliver, it doesn't mean anything. So when it comes down to delivering, we want to deliver on time. So, we're towards the end of the ICO, and the market has been, for a lot of ICOs. But in the end, we've been keeping a good momentum through it, which is awesome, like I said before. So, we got, we're down to like literally days. But that's the main thing is keep the roadmap. Now, we're working on the internal exchange, which is, set to launch between April 15th and then the end of April. Now, we actually feel we might be able to beat the end of April and have it more, towards around the launch of ABOT. So we want to try to get it where we can launch both within a week of each other or even closer. We think that we're ahead of schedule on our internal, so that's beautiful. Now with external, we do plan on going on to external exchanges, but as you guys may or may not know, while you're in ICO, you can't actually put an application into an exchange. You have to be post ICO and have your distribution done. So we're just waiting for that pretty much.
Okay. All right. And so when you talk about the exchange, it seems like any exchange that comes out right now, they come out, they're ready, and then oopsies, they've got to do a lot of testing. So will you be pre-testing your exchange, or when it comes out, we'll open it for a small few, see if it works, and then do testing on it?
What we're going to plan on doing is doing some team testing at first, and then once we feel that we're ready for that, we're going to beta test it, just like we're doing with our ABOT. And we're going to do the same thing with MBOT as well. We'll open up MBOT to a certain amount of beta testers, just like we'll do our internal exchange, because when it comes down to it, the information that we got off of our first beta test was invaluable, and we need that same type of information to keep going with our other things. So, we're all about testing.
Okay. And you've explained, just to recap for everybody, the minimum investment for the ABOT is $250, and then the MBOT will be eventually $500, and that's going to pretty much dictate, so just because you have 250 coins doesn't mean you have $250. So just to make sure everybody's clear, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
that'll be the market value.
The exchange will dictate the price, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And the people, in the end, the token holders will what actually dictate the price, because since we're not holding them and dumping them and, using that to influence the market, it's literally going to be in your guys' hands. So, that's another reason why we need to stay a community as well and be in touch and, make sure that we're in full communication with you guys, because in the end, we have to work together to make sure that, the price stays, where it should be. And I think, like I said, since we're building a utility token, it'll help that right off the bat. And, we just want to work together. So when we work together, everything works.
Yeah. It definitely does. I guess one of my questions is, the beta test has been going awesome, but yet no one else is doing it. Do you think other platforms are going to try to follow suit of ARB? And this is like not really pertaining to the platform. I'm just curious to know your opinion, because everybody beta tests, but they always do it in a closet with like 4 people, and they pretend it happened and it never did. And you're public with it, and everybody is showing their results. So, what's your opinion on that? I've
said this before. In other videos, like I'm here to raise the bar. We're here to raise the bar. And I think we're doing that. You're probably going to see a lot of people copying what we're doing, and you can already see it. If you go and look at some of the other platforms, you're seeing them starting to, want to do what we're doing. Maybe not just with Arbitrage, but with face videos and doing other things with their platform. And you're probably going to see some people doing some sort of beta test. And hey, I'm just glad that we can be here to set these new levels, so other people have to try to keep up.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have, right? As a community, I always ask this, and we already kind of talked about it, because we control the coin, so we control the price. But as far as getting it out there, I know a lot of people are testing, and everybody's kind of skittish right now in a bearish market. What can, as a community, what would you like to see us do? Now, whether we perform it or not, who knows, but what would you like for us from us?
Honestly, the only thing that we can ask from you guys is for your, continued support, and do what you can to help spread our word. I don't want you guys to go out there and, pull your cousin and your brother and your, best friend and force them to get into it, because we don't believe in that anyways. We don't believe in forcing anyone to do anything. But if, you wanted to help, what I would do is, just introduce them to our product. Send them over to our Telegram, or, come and talk to us and just show them how to research, if you have to, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, just sharing our word and, you know, getting it out there and letting people know like what we're, you know, where we are and what we're about, is more than helpful.
Okay. All right. And then, so when we're talking about the A-bot, everybody can see when I do my screenshots of the daily percentages, right? So it's been low, of course, the last couple of days when the market's tanking. It's pretty hard to make any money, but it's still been making money. Like today was 0.66. And we see a lot of companies during the ICO, they've got all these great numbers, which is what I like about A-bot, because it's been fluctuating around 1% and then it dropped a couple days. Are those real solid numbers or are those estimates?
Those are solid numbers. You know, and that's why you're seeing them drop when the market drops, because, you know, arbitrage opportunities are always there, but in a bearish market, they're a little bit more, you know, spread apart. So and they're smaller. So it's harder to get, you know, the bigger numbers when the market's like, but, you know, they're real numbers. So, you know, that's the beautiful part. We're not trying to give you guys, you know, fluff and saying, hey, oh my gosh, look, we make 5% a day, because realistically, that's not sustainable. And you can't do that every day. Now, is there going to be a day where A-bot or, you know, M-bot makes you guys, you know, 3-5% or, you know, whatever? Maybe, you know, and that's the beautiful part about it is if it's there, it's going to. If it's not, it's not. You know, well, that's the one thing. We don't guarantee you profits. We guarantee you that the bot's going to perform the best that it can. And that's all that we can guarantee you. You know, so don't be surprised if one day you see like, oh my gosh, I made, you know, 0.2. You know, you might see a day like that, but you might see a day that's 0.8 or, you know, 2.1. It's really hard to say. Nothing's guaranteed, but we are making these bots, you know, where they're going to perform. So that's what we can guarantee.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that makes sense at all. That's all. That was my main question. Was we get a lot of fluff usually, and it's nice to see real numbers. Speaking of real numbers, so you may not have an exact answer for this, so maybe you can tell me, you'll let me know, but I'll ask it anyways. There's a lot. So say I'm making, right now I'm arbitraging the beta test, right? So I'm getting some coins. Like today I got like 60 coins or whatever. And then you also have promotional coins, and then you know, ARB that you've given out to certain promotions or whatever you've done, it doesn't matter. My question is, each coin's supposed to hold a certain value. So will you guys be reevaluating the coin value once the ICO ends? So once you know how much your soft cap or hard cap or how much money you've earned versus how many caps or how many ARBs have been dispensed, will that be an average of the coin value, or are you going to have a set value?
We're not going to make up a value. You know, if anything, we're going to use the value at the end of the ICO. So it'll, you know, whatever we end at for a price, we'll start at for a price. We're not just going to, you know, do like some of those platforms do where they say, hey, every coin's worth $5. Because that's not how things work. You know, we don't want to devalue it because we do think that it is going to create a value. So, you know, at the most, we want a true value, and that's what we call it, true value. We don't want to actually, you know, just throw a number on it and say, hey, here's the price, because in the end, that doesn't work. So, you know, we have to do something that's actually going to work, and the only way to do that is to give it a true value. And, you know, usually that's the price of the last round of the ICO. So.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's why I asked the question, just to realize if, you know, a lot of people want that $10 coin, but they don't understand that growing organically is the way to get it, not just slapping it out there. No one's going to pay $10 for the coin right off the bat. So
no,
that's
not sustainable. It has to grow to that value, and it does take time. You know, we're not going to go out there and, like I said, price manipulate to get this thing worth $300 in 2 months, because it has to be sustainable and it has to be a true value. Otherwise, sustainability becomes a question. And the one thing we're trying to do is build a sustainable system. So we don't want to defeat that purpose.
Yeah. Nope, I agree 100%. And then speaking of the price of the coin, I did the math before we got on this video because the price of ETH has dropped so much. Are we still at 970 coins per ETH?
Yeah, it's 960 actually, but
960, sorry.
Yeah, we are. And you know, that's something that I put into effect last week. We were going to go to around 6 and raise the price, but with the market tanking, well, not tanking, but the market being so We didn't want to, you know, increase the price just to try to get over on people, because we want to support you guys and we want you to support us. And, you know, the best way I could see to do that was extend that, you know, that set price out for the, you know, the remainder for the time. And that's why we put a, you know, an announcement up and said until further notice, and we're still there. So, you know, we don't want to change that. We want to keep that going, and we believe that that's one of the reasons why we've been doing so good as well, you know, because we've shown people we care that way, you know.
Yeah, taking care of the investor instead of yourselves is a big step. And I did the math, and it's, I believe, 46 or 47 cents currently as we speak right now.
I think it was 46.8. Yeah.
Yeah, dirt. I mean, I don't want to say dirt cheap, but pretty damn cheap for a coin that's gonna, in my opinion, going to do very well, being first to market and first to move. So,
yep.
That's kind of all the questions I had for you, David. Is there anything, closing remarks that you want to speak to or speak about?
Yeah, I do want to mention something. You know, since we are at our soft cap, what we're doing on our side is we're planning that we're going on phase 2. So, you know, our development team, they're already moving towards phase 2. We actually are bringing on a couple extra developers as well to help make sure that we can finish our job and, you know, give you guys everything that we're saying we can. So that's one of the beautiful parts about reaching a soft cap and having the momentum that we do. We're going to do everything we can to capitalize on the momentum to, you know, make sure that we actually have something good happen even after launch. Because, you know, there's been other platforms out there that have delivered what they said, but in the end, they didn't keep going with, you know, communication, community building, and trust building. So, you know, things fizzled out on them. So we're going for phase 2. You know, like I said, Adil, our CTO, he's actually, you know, bringing new developers on, which are going to help us, you know, make sure that we do everything that we say we can do on that side. So, you know, now we're going to focus on stage 2 of community as well. So, you know, keep building that, making sure that everything's running like a well-oiled machine. So, you know, I just wanted to let you guys know that we are on track. You know, our main goal is don't move back the roadmap unless, you know, something crazy happens, but hopefully, you know, that would be like, you know, if something crazy happened, I mean, it would be huge, you know, not just to us, it would be like you know, something in the world crazy, but that's our main goal, you know, make sure that we can deliver on the roadmap time, and we're going to do everything that we can on our end to make sure that happens.
Good. I'm glad you brought that up, because I meant to ask you about the resources and the build-up of the team, and you covered that, and I forgot all about it, so good work on that one. Just so everybody's aware, when is the final day of the ICO? When will it end?
As of right now, it is scheduled to end at the end of the month. And we've been debating and, you know, a little bit with the community since the market's been so, you know, bad, you know, maybe we extend it just a couple days to get some people that haven't been able to actually get their money into crypto to purchase the ICO. We've been contacted by a decent amount of people that are, you know, asked us like, I don't want to miss out, and they still want to, you know, get a decent deal at it. So that's another thing, you know, with us talking to our community. We want to be in full disclosure and as transparent as we can. So, you know, the main thing that I want to talk about is the non-extension of the roadmap. So, you know, if we have to go a couple extra days just to make sure that, you know, we can do a little bit more, then I think that's a good point to look at, as long as we're not extending, like, you know, launch of ABOT or launch of exchange. So
yeah, no, that's true, because a lot of people out there get paid on the first, and, you know, maybe they weren't aware of ARB when they, because I know my previous job, I was paid monthly every time on the first. So you know, you spend your money on the first, the second, and the third, and you were like, well, when's the first again? So
yeah,
I see what everybody's saying.
But the one thing I want to guarantee right now, you know, and you guys can, anyone watching this, you know, it's our guarantee. We're not going to extend the ICO, you know, past, you know, anything that's unrealistic. We're not going to push back ABOT just to keep the ICO going. Since we are at soft cap, we can't afford to close it out. We just want to, you know, still try to maximize as much as we can, because the more that we do, the better it'll be in the end. So, you know, the main goal is, you know, do what we can to keep, you know, the roadmap on.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. Well, David, you answering my questions. I appreciate you coming on and taking the time. I'm sure I held you up and your backlog probably by another 2 days by now by coming on and talking to us, and we sure do appreciate it.
It's no problem. I appreciate you, taking the time as well and helping us get our message out there. That's what it comes down to. We need more of this. So I'd actually like to do another one of these post ICO. It'd be nice.
That would be fantastic. And you heard it here, people. It's on a recording. He can't back out. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah, once we kick this thing off, let's do another one, and we'll get it out there and spread it to the masses.
Sounds good.
All right, David. Well, appreciate your time, sir. I know it's late where you are. It's late where I am, and I'm sure we've got work to do. So appreciate you.
Right. All right. Hey, you guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully, like I said, we'll see you again.
So you see what I mean? He knows his stuff. So if you are interested in participating in the Arbitraging ICO, 1 ETH will get you 960 Arbitrage tokens. And again, they are closing out in 1 day. Let's see. Yeah, just over 1 day. And nose around the site, I definitely encourage you to educate yourself about investing in something like this. And as I'm not your investment advisor, but I'm just sharing what I've done. I have I think 2,000 ARB tokens so far. So they again, they do show you here what you can make, and that's with the automatic. This is the potential profit calculator. You can select the number of days. So I selected 30 days, $1,000. That's about $300 a month. Alright, and this is using the A-bot. Alright, so I don't know if this takes on, if this takes advantage of, not takes advantage of, but if it shows you, like the fee and stuff like that. But that's just to give you an idea. Okay. Alright, good people. I will have a link at the underneath this video if you'd like to participate. It is coming down to the final wire here. Alright. As always, appreciate your support. Big Mo the Crypto Lion. Please share, like, and subscribe. Peace and God bless.